All right. Oops. We're continuing where we stopped. Things you need to understand are we have our slope-intercept form, y equals mx plus b. We have standard form, which is ax plus by equals c. We have our point slope form now, which is y minus y1 equals x, no, m. What did I just do now? Ugh, I hate that. Am I still recording? Yes, I am. Good. Equals m times x minus x1. Like so. I'll put a little space in there. We're good. Okay, so we got that. These are our three things. Notice m is slope always. All right. And this has a y-intercept. This one has two intercepts. We use this one to talk about intercepts. And we'll just try to figure out things that work here, okay? So, for example, this one right here is the top one. You can see y equals a number, x plus a number. Y equals a number, x plus a number. So I know that this is the slope. That's the y-intercept. So I know that the slope is -2. I know that right off the bat. What's the y-intercept? 5. What does that mean? Well, if we're on a graph. Oops, that's a terrible graph, but that's okay. There. We know that this one crosses at 5, right? We know it crosses 5 up here. Right here. That's the 0.05. So the y-intercept is the 0.05. 0.5. Okay. This one right here, what's my slope? Well, which one is it? It's clearly the bottom one here. I have y minus a number equals m times parentheses x minus a number. That's this one. So I notice that this has a slope. M is right here, and it goes through this point. Whatever these numbers are, they're being subtracted from x and y. Okay, so I know its slope is this number, 4. Slope is 4. As far as points it goes through, this is my y, 3 is my y. This is my x, 7 is my x. So this goes through the point 7, 3. Boom. That's all there is to it. This one right here, okay, this is standard form. Okay, if x is 0, then y would have to be 2. Why? Because if I plug in a 0, I get 2 times 0. This disappears. I end up with just 5y equals 10. 5 times 2 equals 10. So one point it goes through is 0, 2. That one up here? No, it's not. But that's okay. We'll still type it up there. That's true. It just doesn't happen to be one of the things that they care to give as an option. Okay, let's find another point on the line that's actually up there. What if I make y be 0? Well, that means I have something plus 0 equals 10. 2 times what equals 10? Well, that would be a 5. So also 5, 0 is a point on this line. All right. And if you're really having troubles finding slope, remember what we can do is we end up with negative slope equals negative a divided by b on this one, okay? That's negative 2 divided by 5. Negative 2 divided by 5. There it is right there. Okay, that's how we find slope. All right, moving on. There's a lot of shortcuts to learn with this. Okay, I know that might be gone quickly, but I guarantee if you graph these 2 points, you'll find that it crosses at 5, 0, and 0, 2, which are these points. 5, 0, and 0, 2 are 5, 0 is going to be 5 out, 0 up or down, and 0, 2 like this. And it's going to go like so. It's going to go down to over 5. So that's where I get this, for the record. You can see it that way on a graph too, if I just graph these 2 points. Okay. In an earlier problem, we found out this was the question about the gas tank. It was lame. Yeah, there's a float in the gas tank and it makes the gauge go up to show that something's full, blah, 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 blah. Here are 2 points. 2 points, that's all we need to solve something in point slope form. Assuming the rate at which the gallons appears with respect to the height of the float is constant, what function rule would represent the relationship between h, g, and height h? Well, they have it right here, so that's really badly written question, just for the record. That function rule should work, just so you know. Wait, a different car. Different car. Okay, good. This is a different car, so we got to start from scratch. Well, we need to find slope, and we need to find y-intercept. Okay, the first thing we can find is slope. So I'm going to look at this. Actually, I'll use the slope formula. We have our, this is going to be my point 1, it's going to be my point 2. So I'm going to have y2 minus y1 over x2 minus x1. What that's going to look like is slope equals m. I'm going to scoop this, by the way, equals y2 minus y1. It's the right side. That's going to be 11 and 4 minus 3. And on the bottom, we'll have 9 minus 1. I just have to really quickly move this first. And I'm going to go over here. I'm going to turn this into a fraction. I can push the wrong button. Right into a fraction with a straight bar. Okay, and so what's that give me? Let's see here. We can keep going. That gives me 11.3 minus 3 is going to be 8.3, I believe. And then on the bottom, we'll have 9 minus 1 is 8. And there we are. That's going to be an ugly number. I'm just going to leave it like that. You can see 83 over 80. I'm going to leave it like that for now. Okay. All right. Oh, that's a 4. I don't know how I got a 0.3. Well, I got to change that now. 4. Notice I subtracted the y's and put them on top, subtracted the x's and put them on bottom. That's what we did. We'll call that good for now. You know what? I could make it smaller now that it's 8.4. I know that all of the numbers on top and bottom are even, so I could do 42 over 4. And they're still even, so I could do it again. 21. Oops. 2.1 over 2. And then, if I wanted to, I can divide that. This is how we do math without a calculator, my friends. Half of 21 is 10.5, right? So it'd be 1.05. Oh my gosh. That's the same slope as the other one. Interesting. There. Okay. Now we need to find our y-intercept. Well, you know what? We don't. Okay? So what we're going to do instead is we're going to use point slope. We're going to use that. Let me go copy it because I don't want to type it out again. Control C. All right, here's the point slope form. I'm going to take this whole thing. I'm going to put it in for y. I'm also going to pick one of these guys. Let's pick the point 1, 3. So I'm going to put this guy in for x, and that guy in for y. Erase this. It's not helpful at all. Okay, so now I end up with putting in numbers. That's all we're doing. We know how the function works, how this formula works, and we just plug the numbers in the right spot. So I end up with 3 here, 1.05 times x minus. And there we go. This will work. Now, just so you understand, this is good enough. That's the information in point slope form. They never said we have to write it in a different way, did they? No, they didn't. So we're done. Now, if I want to, are they going to ask us to use properties of equality? Yeah, I figured they would. So let's do that. We're going to switch it to slope-intercept form. Control C. We're going to turn this guy to, well, first things first, we're going to do the same steps we had before. Distribute 1.05. Now, you'll find if you try to graph this one, I don't think it has a very nice y-intercept, but we'll see. Who knows? It's not going to be too bad. It would be a hard one to guess, that's for sure. We have y minus 3 equals 1. Oops. How does it change sizes like that? That's so weird. Y minus 3 equals, and I distribute 1.05x minus 1 times 1.05 is 1.05, just for the record. Next thing we'll do is add 3. Both sides. We end up with, well, y minus 3 plus 3 is just y. Anything. If you subtract 3 and then you add 3, it's just its original size, its original thing. Y equals 1.05x. Okay, I added 3, so it's going to be positive. Basically, 3 minus 1.05, that's like 1.95. Yep, I like that answer. Okay, so that's the answer. So what does that mean? All I really did was, let me go up here, no, up here. All we really did here was that one, the middle one we didn't deal with at all, just for the record. This guy, Control C. On the top, the bottom. On the top, we have this form, the point slope form. By the time we get to the bottom, we have slope-intercept form. It's the same line. If I graphed this in Desmos and I typed this in Desmos, it would make the same exact graph. They're just written different ways. This one's nice because it tells me that the y-intercept is 1.95, which I probably would not have guessed by looking at a graph. It would have been like, I don't know, close to 2. But now I can figure it out mathematically. given just 2 points. That's the power of mathematics. Okay, match each description with the line that it fits. Okay, this line contains the point 1, negative 2, and is a parallel to the line given here. So it has a slope of 2, because parallel means they have the same slope. And has the point 1, 2 in it. Okay, 1, negative 2. Oof. So I'm going to look at all the ones that might have a slope of 2. This does not. That does not. That does not. It has a slope of 1, negative 4, negative 1, 3, negative 3 over 2, no, negative 2 over 3 or whatever. Okay, this is the only one with a slope of 2. So I'm going to double check to see if I plug a 1 in for x, do I get a negative 2 out for y? If I plug a 1 in here, I get 1 times 2 is 2, minus 4 is negative 2. Hey, that's perfect. So let's type in that equation. Y equals 2x minus 4. That's parallel to this. It has the same slope. And the 1 and 2 work for x and y in here. Great. Next one contains the point 1, negative 2 as well. It's perpendicular to the line given by this. So this has a slope of negative 1, of negative 4. So I want m to equal positive and flip into 4 and the 1. So it's instead of 4 over 1, it's 1 over 4. So I want something with a slope of 1/4. I know that. Okay, I know that because that's what'll make it perpendicular. We learned that a while ago. All right. So which one of these has a slope of 1/4? This one, I think. What I'm looking for is, I'm looking at, so these ones are y equals mx plus b, y equals mx plus b, mx plus b, mx plus b, mx plus b. All right. And none of them have a 1/4 in front of the x. This one needs a 1/4. These ones use 2's and 3's. Remember, if I want to find the slope of this guy in standard form, slope is negative a divided by b. That's negative 1 divided by negative 4. And that makes 1/4. 1 divided by 4 is 1/4. Negative 1 divided by negative 4 is also 1/4. So I'm not even going to bother to check. It's the only one that's perpendicular. I feel pretty confident that it works. So I'm going to type in x minus 4y equals 9. Okay, what line contains these 2 points? Ugh. Now this would be nice if we had a point slope form or something, but oh well. Okay, we're going to find which one works here. So 1, 2. First, we're going to find out all the ones that 1, 2 works in. 1, 2. If I plug a 1 in here and a 2 in here, does it work? That's 2 minus 6 equals 4. It does not work. 1, 2 doesn't work there. How about this one? 1, 2. 1 minus 8 equals 9. Nope, that doesn't work. 1, 2. 2 equals 1 plus 5. Nope, doesn't work. 1, 2. 1, 2. Negative 4 plus 2 equals 2. Nope, okay, negative 2. 1, 2. 3 minus 4 equals 6. Nope. 1, 2. 3 times 1 is 3 minus 1 is 2. Hey, this one works. 1, 2. 1 times 2 is 2 minus 4 is negative 2. Doesn't work. 1, 2. Negative 1 plus 5 equals 2. Nope. There's only one of them that does have the point 1, 2, so this must be the answer. Y equals 3x minus 1. Okay, we're doing this one, 2, 0, and 0, 3. Oh, these ones are intercepts. This is promising to me. because intercepts, usually see how it has a 2 and a -3? It's probably one of these guys. I'm almost sure because it has the same numbers and these are in standard form. So we're going to take a look. If x is 2, y is 0. If x is 2, y is 0. Let's see what happens if I make x 2 and y 0. 2, 0, or 2, 0. 2 times 2 is 4, minus 0 is 4. Hey, that works. 2 times 3 is 6, minus 0 is 6. It works for both of them. So that works for both of them. Let's move on to 0, -3 then. See which one works there. 0, -3, so x is 0. Y is -3. 0, -3. I'll just have it on top and bottom. So 0, -3 times -3 does not make 4. However, 0, -3 times 2, -2, makes +6. So this is the one we want. It works for both of them. I'm going to write 3x minus 2y equals 6. 3x minus 2y equals 6. All right, 0, 5, and 1, 4. 0, 5. Now, this is a y-intercept. This right here is a y-intercept. That's promising. And I know that the x changes by 1. And the y changes by -1. Goes down 1. Right? So looks like we have a slope of -1 as well. There's a lot of things we can figure out from here. So m equals, oops. I know from that m equals -1. 1. And I also know that y-intercept equals 5. I know that because here, 0, 5 is on the y-axis. Those are two facts. So anything here with a slope of, hey, look at that. Slope of -1, y-intercept of 5. Honestly, I didn't even need the equation. I mean, oops, y. Y equals -x plus 5. There we are, -1 slope, intercept of 5. All right. Last two pages, write the equation of the line without a slope of -2 containing the point blah in point slope form. Okay, so what am I going to do? I'm going to go up and copy this because I want to save time. It just takes so long to write that out. Okay, so all I've got to do is, just for the record, all I really need to do is put this guy in here. And then put this guy, that's my x. So I'm going to put him in x1. And the last one, 15 is my y. It was right there. That's what's going on here. So I end up with y minus 15 equals -2 times x minus -12. That's minus a negative, so I'm just going to change that to a plus. Equals -2 times x plus 12. Or, sorry, x. Type 2 again. Oops. Here we go. That's the answer. Now we have to rearrange it to put in slope-intercept form like we've done every single time. So let's do that. I'm going to distribute the 2, -2. This time I'm not going to say what I did each time. -2x minus 24, because I multiplied 2 times 12 as well. That's distributing the -2. Now I'm going to add 15. Negative 24 plus 15, that's going to give me 9. Negative 9. Yep. All right, and that's it. Oh, I should circle it. It's good to circle things. Notice that's y equals mx plus b. That's in the other form now. Last page, or last 2 pages. I keep getting mixed up. Ugh, okay. These two take a while, don't they? Yeah, I'm making these a little extra long in case I need to drag them around at all. Okay, I'm going to cut and paste them now. Control C. Okay, that's the only graphs. Okay, great. Let's do this. I'm going to do this fast now. Let's see. This point goes through the point. Here's what I notice. M equals negative 2. So it'll go over 1 and down 2 every single time. Point it goes through is negative 5, negative 5, 4. Remember, we're subtracting in that formula. So if it's adding, that means it's adding a negative, or subtracting a negative, like we did up here. This turned to a minus, because I was actually subtracting a negative 12. So if there's a negative 12, you end up with a plus in front of it in this formula. Okay? So here, there's a plus in front of this 5, so I know I actually have a negative 5 in the actual point. All right, so I'm going to graph that point. Let's see. Here's how I would graph it. Point. Negative 5, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. 1, 2, 3, 4. Make that bigger. And now I just need to make a line that goes over 1 and down 2. Over 1 and down 2. Like so. It goes through this point. Ugh. And it has this steepness. So I end up with a line that looks like there. Looks like that. Okay, next one. I know it has the point. Oh gosh, it has a slope of 1. Because this is still in that form, it's just the number is not written here because it's 1. We don't write that number when it's 1. And it goes through the point 6, negative 3. So I'm going to graph the point 6, negative 3. I'm going to make sure it has a slope of 1, and we'll be done. Oh, come on, stop. All right. 6, negative 3 is right. I got to move this. Okay. 6, negative 3. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, and down 1, 2, 3. There's my point. That's this point right here. Oops, I went the wrong way because I thought it had a negative slope, but it has a positive slope. Right? And it has a slope of 1, so that means, ugly by the way, I don't like it. And the slope is 1, so it's going to look like this. And there we go. Okay, this one has a slope of 1/2. It goes through the point 3, -5. I'm going to type that. M equals 1/2 is 3, -5. -5. 3 is 1, 2, 3. -5, 1, 2, 3. Right there. Let me make that the right color and size. Okay, and it has a slope of 1/2, so it's going to look like this. I'm not going to bother to spend too much time on this because I just did it twice. I'm not perfect, but you get the idea. Okay, last one goes through the point. Slope is -2/3. Point is -4. 2. So I'm going to find the point -4, 2. That's right. 1, 2, 3, 4, and 2. And the slope is 2, -2/3, which means it goes down 2 and 3 to the right. So what does that look like? Down 2, just go like so. Down 2 and 1, 2, 3 to the right. Down 2. We also got to go up 2 and 3 to the right. In the opposite direction. And you end up with a line like that. All right. Very good. Hopefully that makes sense. You can pause the video. Almost there. Actually, I need to stop for a second, finish the last page. All right, last page. Here we go. Continuing. All right, reinforce. Write an equation in point slope for each of these. Okay, so here we have a point. You know that this point is 5, 3. This is the point 5, 3. You know that. Important. We also need to figure out a slope. Let's see. I need to find out places where it lattices. What that means is where it crosses nicely between two lines. Like, for example, here's a place where it crosses through the crosshairs. The lines right there. Is there another one? Right there. Right there. It seems to always go, correct me if I'm wrong, but it goes 3 to the right. This is 1. 3 to the right. 2 up. That's a slope of 2/3. All I will do is use those. Remember, y equals, we have this one. I'm going to go up and copy it so we can see it again. There we are, Control C. Every time I'm using this as my template, just for the record. So then all I have to do is fill in the numbers. So I know that my y is 3. So I'm going to put y minus 3. I know my slope is 2/3. And then x minus 5. And I'm done. This is really easy once you get the hang of it. All right, this one. This one, I don't have to, I can pick any, see I had to have a point and I had to know the steepness of the line. Here I have lots of points. I can pick my favorite one, doesn't matter. But I do need to figure out how much it's changing by. So let's figure that out. This is going up by 1. This is going down by 3. So m equals down by 3 divided by up by 1, which is just -3. Okay, and then we're going to pick one of these at random. It doesn't matter which point I pick. So I'm going to take this guy and this guy. I'm going to use them in my function. Okay. So I know that my slope is -3, and I'm going to make my x be 3 and my y be 1. So y minus 1 equals -3 times x minus 3. Boom, done. It is literally that simple. If you know what you're doing, of course I've done this a lot of times, so if you're having troubles, don't worry. I want you to understand, see how fast I'm doing this? You can do it this fast. All right, same thing here. This has the point -1, -4. -1, -4. Okay, and I'm going to find some, like, oops, I don't want that to be changing color. I want this to be changing color. I want it to be bigger too. 2. Here's a place it crosses. There's a place it crosses. There's a place it crosses. It seems to be going down. And over 3 each time. So m is going to equal -4 over 3. It's that simple. So now I just have to type that into a line. Click down here, Control V. Okay, so I know my y, -4. That's y minus -4 equals -4 over 3 times x minus -1. Now, I don't like all those parentheses and minuses, so I remember when I subtract it's negative, that's actually adding. So I end up with y plus 4 equals -4/3 times x plus 1. That should work. That's my, oops. There's my answer. All right, line passing through these points. Okay, so here's what I'm going to notice. There are 2 points I have to figure out how much y changes and how much x changes first. So I'm going to go in here, I'm going to be like, well, x went up by 7. Oops, that was terrible. By 7. And y, on the other hand, went up by 14. That's the change in y and the change in x. So what does that look like? Well, I end up doing m equals change in y divided by change in x, right? That's 14 divided by 7. It's 2. Look at that. So my slope is 2. Now I just need a point that it goes through. Well, I have 2 of them. I'm going to pick this point. So I'm going to pick, we'll go with green, because green hasn't been used. I'm going to pick this point. And this number And I'm going to make my formula. All right. So I end up with y minus, well, my y is 16. My slope is 2. It's not on the screen right now, but you can see it now. And my x is 4. So we just did it. That's all you need to do in point slope form is fill in the blanks. Hopefully that makes sense. That's the end of the assignment. Good luck, my friends.